between the space.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The little clip, the 4-second little song in the intro video is a part of a song I wrote. I'm currently in progress working with a good friend of mine on finishing a 5-song EP, hopefully an album, but we're definitely trying to aim to get something done this year. So the project overall is electronic, slow dive, shoegaze, synth pop. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to share that when it's ready. Okay, before I get started into my story today, I had to share this thing because it was really funny. So I do coffee readings aside from tarot, and a lot of times I'll combine them together. And when I do Turkish coffee readings, where things are placed in a cup, you can tell if it's like on your side, outside of your side. So like, I guess I'll try to explain it. But when you drink from the cup, the side you drink from is your side. And then the other side, that's the other half past the handle, is things happening outside your side, whether it's like, let's say your partner, so the man's side, or somebody in your family that is living further away. Anything that happens that like I see along the handle and the same opposite side, that half line, that is something between two people in a relationship. In the bottom of the cup, it's your money, it's in your house. Sometimes in the grain, I'll see something stamped in, or there's images in there too. A lot of things I see, okay, the deeper in the cup. So if it's down in there and stuck in there, these are things that either can't get out, like you want these things to come out and happen. Why this even works, honestly, I just think it's something I pick up on with the energy that's already coming. When I've done readings for myself and I see things in there that I don't like, I would try to make a wish over it. When you make a wish, you just think of it to yourself in silence. You lick your thumb, you press in there, and you just like twist and lift it back out. I always try to make a wish where it's near the top so it opens up for these things to come out. Otherwise, if something's stuck, it could be where, like if somebody's in a heavy place or there's something just heavier in there, stuck in there. And then when I make a wish on certain things that I want to know, I'll see things that'll show me things. I did one for my best friend, I think like a month ago. No, before I left in November. So, yeah, in October. And I literally, she was seeing this guy and it was going well, like it seemed like it was going well, and I will never lie to anybody, even if it's the hard truth. And I did her cards for her, and I was like, I did it for her, and then I did it for him, and they were different. Like hers was very like genuine, and I could see where there was care there, and his was very, everything was like self-centered, him. And I'm like, uh-oh, okay, I don't know about that. Well, let me look in your cup too. So I did that. The cup just confirmed what I saw in the cards. And it's hilarious because people won't want to listen, and I'll do it again and keep pulling cards and the same thing will come up. So the coffee reading I did, I kept seeing him there, and around him were these like divided signs. I could tell. So when I see things, I also pick up emotions as well. things will either be in symbol form, which I know what that means. If I don't, there is a Serbian book that can translate. Um, it's written in Serbian. I figure out how to translate it because I obviously can't read that. So this book has things on symbols, but then also at the same time, if I've never seen it before as a symbol, I will look up to see the symbolism in it, and I also will go more in here to see what I pick up on in this. Um, and then there's times where it's so wild because it will literally look like a drawing, like someone just sketched out someone's face where I can see their face and I can see their hair texture and height and body shape and everything. So yeah, with hers specifically, I was like, she made a wish and I just same thing. I just kept seeing the same thing. And then like she was done with her cup. I had mine and I was just like, well, you know what? Let me make a wish for you. So I did it, stamped it in my cup, and right away I see like the divided signs again, and I see this girl's face that is not my best friend. And I'm just getting this feeling the whole time like, hey, like this is like I saw things with like, girlfriend, whatever. I'm like, this is like has to be his ex. Like, I don't think he's like over this or processed this or whatever. Turns out they broke up and he just went right into working and didn't process it. So I was like, you need to be careful. I know that things seem good, but I am telling you right now, like something's gonna happen where he's gonna say something or whatever. Like it's like not gonna work out. Like he's just too into his own thing, and he's like doesn't even know what he wants, and hung up on this girl. I see her face, and like it's like flatter, straight hair, and I remember her telling me that she was Asian. And when I was looking in the picture of her face, it looked like a drawing. I'm like, well, that's weird because her nose is like pointier. That's like what I see. But you know what? I'm half Asian and my nose is pointier too. So I saw that and then I was laughing because I was like, I can like really, really see like proportions in her face, and her eyes and mouth are like, okay, no, sorry. Her nose and her eyes were like further spaced apart where the tip of her nose was closer to the mouth. And there was just much more distance in here, like a little bit more than normal. And she rolls her eyes and she like shows me this photo of her, and I just start laughing. I'm just like, oh my God, this is exactly her. Anyway, so that's how I read cups. I did write in my bio for the channel description. There's things in there for pricing, for tarot and cup readings combined. Yeah, it's all in there. So if you ever want to have anything, definitely reach out to me. So a few days ago for me, I was reading this cup like and seeing stuff like right on the rim. I didn't know obviously that I would get in an argument with my ex or like family at this point. Who's also the one that we write music with. It's odd, but I don't know. It just works. So yeah, I saw like him and kind of like trapped in there, and I'm like on his shoulder. I will admit he didn't do anything wrong. It was me at that point, and I had to like stop and process. And I was like, okay, I am not handling my emotions well. And like right above on the rim is like this arrow going into the R, and it's like it dried up. I tried to take photos, but what I saw was kind of like this bent up arrow pointing this way with the R. And the feeling I got was like, okay, well, whatever this is, like, obviously we'll get through it, but it's not like this easy straight arrow direction. You know what I mean? It's like boop, boop, boop. And and then I saw this thing by like the number 8, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that was. Sometimes, like you'll see a letter or a number and you don't really know what it is because it could be like if it's like capital, it could be like the first letter of a place, a person, whatever. Sometimes I see part of a word, or like different words will like show up to me from the same thing. And with numbers, like there's times where I specifically can see it as a clock, which when I see that, it means like whatever this is, it's like going to take time. Sometimes that time is months. And but like when it's numbers, sometimes I'll see it like, the like how it would be as a time. Or sometimes they're just lined up and I don't know. One time I saw a number and I told my mom, and it ended up, I'm like, what is J213, And she's like, I don't know. And that ended up being the parking spot number that we went into when she was driving me to the airport. So for this, I was like, I don't know what this is. It's like a very specific shape to me. Sometimes I can see like the fonts of things. Like one time I saw a font very specific, 3W, and I didn't know what that meant. It was relevant to the person's cup I saw it in because when I went with a party to her, or oh my God, when I went to a party with her, it ended up, okay, this guy greeted us. I didn't know that was like the first date they were having together. Like I just thought they were friends. And anyway, we go up to the apartment and right on the door when we're about to walk in, I'm like, no way. And I like tap her arm and like, look. And she's like, oh my God. Like it was the exact apartment, 3W, same font. So yeah, this thing, I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's like now on the rim, like this is like gonna happen like tomorrow or the next day latest. And the way it was shaped, it's like more narrow on the top and wider on the bottom. So I took photos of it for you guys to try and show you. The left photo is like the coffee grain, and then to the right, I put it in like different colors so you guys can see this. And then what that shape ended up being, because I saw it and I was like, well, this is like exactly what I saw. Okay, so the left photo, you can see, okay, and the right is in color. So the thing I drew in the green, when it was not dry, you could see the detail of what it was doing more, but that was the arrow. And then the purple that I outlined is the R for Ryan, because that's his name. And then the shape to the right was this thing that looks like an 8 to me. But what was interesting to me was that it's like it was, again, when not as dry, it was a very specific shape of an 8. Like not an entirely normal one that you'd always see, like if it was typed out or something. That's what I felt. So I didn't know what it was. So then I start laughing because literally the next day we get in this argument. My throat just got dry. One sec. Okay, so we get in this argument and I think about the cup again and I'm like, but what's the 8? Like, I don't know. Is that like the day's gonna fly home from, Europe or something for January 8th? And then I'm like, wait. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense because it was like right all there together. It's like now. After the argument, I walked in the room and this will happen. Like things I'll see, like suddenly you'll just see it and it just like lines up. So I walk in the room and then I see the shape that looks like an 8 on the painting, like on the picture. And I just started laughing. So it was like something, it's like literally the same shape of like the wider base. And then the top is more narrow with a loop. Anyway, sometimes I will see these things that are so little and it's almost just like confirmation, I guess, of like what's going on presently. And then, yeah, there's like things I'll see that are like a big deal. So like I'll see things that are so silly and then I'll see things that are like serious. So there'll be other episodes that I talk about these things and share it, but I just had to share this photo and that shape on the picture. I just thought it was funny. Anyway, let's get back to the story. I've noticed that whenever a spirit comes through for someone, like a past loved one comes through for someone, it would happen randomly, not for everyone. For people who were talking about them around me. And when they talk about them, there would be times when I would feel that spirit suddenly enter through. And the very interesting part is for me, it always happens where they come down to the right side of me, like right around here. And I can see what they look like. I did not see what this person looked like the first time, but usually I can see, not in detail what they look but uh, like a slightly blurred image of them or the outline of them. And then there's also been times where I pick up on even more, and when angels come through, a portal will open, or like these spirits, right? Like a portal will open and they come through. And when portals have opened, there was like one time where I saw it kind of like a blue. I've never been able to see inside of it, but it opens up like an oval and it is not like the size for us to just step through. It's actually smaller. I feel like it's uh like half the size of a person and they come through that. So that was always interesting. And I just took it as whoever, is talking about these past loved ones, that the ones that do come through, you know, really do need to connect. In this scenario, of the first time this ever happened to me, that was definitely the case. So I was visiting my Bubba in Canada and it was summer, I think, because yeah, it was summer because her and my mom and me stopped at a grocery store to pick up a bouquet of flowers for my Dida's grave, which Dida is Serbian for grandpa. I feel like you guys are going to hear this so much that you're just going to learn Serbian along the way. So we go in and I'm trying to decide what flower bouquet I want. And I'm sitting there looking at literally the same bouquets of flowers, trying to find, you try to find the one that has the, I don't know, the best flowers. But as I was doing this, like no matter how, like this should not be a hard decision. And I just could not pick one. And I felt something like, I'm like, why can't I just pick one? Like, I feel like something is holding me behind. And then I felt something confirm this. Like, yes, like you need to wait, you know? And this is the first time this is happening to me. So I'm like, am I making this up? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I think to myself, and I say back to this message I get, okay, I will wait, but I am only going to wait for 1 more minute and then I'm going. So I waited. 1 minute goes by and I'm like, okay, I'm done and I'm going. I go to reach for the flowers. And as soon as I reach for the flowers, this woman, when she touches my arm, she says to me, oh, I got those flowers at this other store. They're much bigger and cheaper. And as she's saying this to me, I like split and I hear, boom, like something just, a message goes right in. Her husband died. He died a year ago. And I'm like, what is happening? She starts talking to me and she's like, oh yeah. And I like turn to her. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, that's nice. Like, I don't remember what I said. I was just trying like my best to like juggle my way through this. And then she says to me again, yeah, like these flowers, da da da, talking about it again. Boom, like her husband died. He died a year ago. And I'm like, oh my God, like I think, like I definitely know like something's happening, right? Then she says, then she says to me, oh, like I got a stone, a really pretty stone there. There also, like with the flowers I got there. The second she says stone, from like I am not in here anymore. Now I'm fully here. And like from my chest, like something just opens up and projects outside of me. And I am literally standing in the grocery store, but I am standing at his grave. I am standing like I see the grass, I see the trees, I see his tombstone. I am standing right there. And the way it looked was like all in the middle, like here's the frame, all in the middle is this graveyard. And I'm standing in front looking at his tombstone. And I never even told her this. Like, I'm like, this is going to be, this sounds so wild. Like, I don't even want to do that. But at the same time, it was like so much information coming through that and this is trying to catch up to this that I couldn't like talk at the same time, you know? And on the border, it was like this wavy like line going around. And on the border of what I'm seeing is the grocery store. I just see like her head. I don't even see her body. And then the right side of my eye, I see like my mom and Bubba standing there. And after that happens, like it's go. And I feel him there to my right, coming closer to my right side. And this is a pattern that happens over and over again, but the closer they get to me, that energy connects from them to me, then that energy flows from me to the person it's for, And their reaction to that message is energy that goes back to them. So we are in this triangle thing of energy. If one part of this connection breaks, the whole thing breaks. So, he gets close enough to me and I'm like, oh God, okay, here we go. So at this point, I am the vessel and what he has to say is coming through me. I don't remember everything I say. I don't. I remember the general idea of it. And so I stop her and I'm like, okay, I am so sorry. I just have to tell you, this is going to sound crazy, but the moment you touched my arm, like I heard that your husband died and he died a year ago. I'm sure her face looks shocked at this point. And I just go and I'm sharing whatever it is that I feel like he really needs them to know, because what I felt was like they're stuck. They've been grieving. They can't move on. And so I tell her like it's really important. I just remember saying like he wants you guys to be happy and move on, to know that he's okay. And I did mention like that they've been stuck and all this stuff, and like he really does need them to move forward. I don't remember again everything I say, but so while this is happening and I'm talking to her, I'm already like starting to feel like sweaty and stuff. And I'm getting tired because at this point I'm talking to her, I think, for like a few minutes, like just going with the information. And as this is happening, I think back, I'm saying back to him, you need to bring the other person here, because I get from him that there's one more. I don't know who it is. I just know there's someone else that he needs to talk to. And I'm like, you need to bring him now because I cannot hold on much longer. As I'm continuing, and you know what? I just started getting chills as I'm saying this. So I'm almost, when I get chills when I talk about these things, it's like, and it's a specific kind. It's like this confirmation from like spirit, like, yes, like this is correct, right? It's like they get happy when you like talk about these stories again. So I'm like, you need to bring this other person here. And as I'm talking to her, I see someone further like down the aisle. There's like a bunch of people walking, but there's this one person, and I feel my energy, like I know it's this person. And I'm not looking at him yet because I'm still trying to carry all my focus to her still. He starts walking up and he didn't even fully get up. And I just, the message just cut and flipped to him. So this connection can keep going, right? So literally it goes from her and then it goes to him. The only thing I remember saying to him, I was like, wow, like your dad was a really good dad. Like he's here right now and I can feel that. And I was telling him how much his dad loved him and was proud of him. Don't remember the other things. And then I do remember feeling like I should give the advice from myself too, and say, I know that, and he was there with me for it. I was like, I know that you only had a shorter time with your dad. It was not long, but having a shorter time with a good dad, like a really good dad, is better and more than a long time with a bad one. Like, trust me, I know. And maybe I was meant to share that. I think I was, because it was still going and connecting, and his dad was like right there with me. And after I said that, like he felt like I just felt like whatever was needed was complete and he was just gone. And and I felt that energetic cycle disconnect. And that's when then I come to in my head, in my brain, and then my brain, it's funny. It's like like how a computer is only capable of so much, right? Compared to like a quantum computer, like the abilities, right? Um, it's kind of like what it is. It's like your brain is so uh so set up in this way of these automatic thoughts and automatic reactions and automatic logic and trying to explain and then also like no 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 no, that's not possible, right? I feel like the brain kind of keeps you trapped in like the box, like the physical reality box, and it's so much more. So this almost feels like it's like a 2D thing for me, and then over there it's like a way more thing. um when I came to, I'm in shock. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what just happened? I don't know. Like, and then at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I am so dizzy. I'm sweaty. I'm shaky. And then this woman is in front of me. I look at my mom and my bubba. Their jaws are dropped and like bawling their faces off, like tears everywhere. And then I look at her and I look at her son, and their jaws are dropped and they are crying as well. And she just beams like this overjoyed happiness. I'm getting chills again. Such happiness, and like something just felt complete, you know? And I don't want to get emotional, but this is why I, I love helping people. And, you know, even when I write music, it's like such a fulfilling thing, or performing. Um, good things come from bad, you know, like me, I've always been a deep feeler. I've had so many traumatic things happen in my life, between family, between health stuff, and all these like constant breakdowns challenging me, um, and the pain I feel, the pain I went through. I went through like this health thing for a decade, 10 to 12 years, where but 85% of the time I was bedridden. Um, there's through pain, I was able to really dig deep too, and that became the bridge. That became the bridge to the spirit side. That became the bridge to creating and writing music. And that was funny. When people always ask me, like, oh, how do you write? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just hear it. Well, recently, I went through these like ketamine IV infusions, and something again shifted and is like stuck there. And it kind of drives me crazy. But like now, when I listen to like white noise, um, just like solid fuzz that you should not hear anything else in, I straight up hear all these different voices singing. And they're like men and women's voices. And if I choose to tune into one, I hear that song. I hear that song that they have to sing for me, right? Or like I tuned into one, it was like this choir of voices singing these melodies. Here's the wildest part. The songs would happen, and then if I thought of notes for this for to sing, they would do it for me. And then if I got into a dead end, they would just continue on. And I was like, wow, maybe that's why I explain it the way I do. Um, So definitely always, always, no matter what, even when you can't see it, because trust me, I know when I've been there and you think things are impossible, you know, you will get through it. Everything I've learned along the way is everything will be fine. And even when you don't think so, everything will be fine. And always try to look for the good, things you learn, how you grow from the bad. You know, we all have it, and it's our choice if we want to grow or let it affect us and break us down. Um, so back to the story. I'm almost done. Um, she was just beaming and crying, and it's like we weren't even strangers anymore. That's the wild thing. Me, you, people haven't even met. We may be strangers here, but we know each other, you know? And we live lives separately here, but we will go to the other side as one. This is why, all the confrontation and stuff is absolutely ridiculous to me. Um, but I also understand that in order for good to exist and to be known, there has to be bad. It's a balance. So she just goes in and grabs me, I'm like shocked, She pulls me to her and hugs me so tight. And she's just so, like, she is crying, she is smiling. She's like, oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You have no idea what you've just done. You have no idea what you did for us. But the funny thing is, I do. And I do more than they realize, Um, and she was just like, I love you, thank you. And that blew me away too. And I was just, I, I didn't know if that would ever happen again. Um, but that was the first time. And this was, God, I don't even know how long ago. Maybe it was like 6 years ago. Um, I felt like there was peace gained. And after that, like they thanked me and I was like, okay, I'm like, you know, yeah, like I'm glad to have helped. And that was that. I had to walk away. We walked away. And I was like, I took the grocery cart. I took it away from my grandma. She loves like walking with it because it helps her walk better. And I was like, I need this. I'm so sorry. And I was like leaning over this thing, like trying to not pass out. I thought I was going to pass out. I was so sweaty. I was so just depleted of energy on such this level that is like more than like if you just don't eat food and you start getting shaky. It's like this whole other deeper thing happening. And yeah, it was not fun. And I would just like walked with them and my mom's like, oh my God, like what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. Like I just like I feel so like I'm gonna pass out. I don't know what to do. And I was like, I just need to like buy this stuff, get in the car so I can like process more what happened. And that was that. So yeah. And that was the first to come of more. So that is my story of the first time spirit came to me and the first and only time I was in two places at one time. Um, yeah, please subscribe and like this video, leave any comments. I do read them. I will try to reply. Even on TikTok, I have the fifth perspective on that. Don't know how much longer that will be up, but I've been getting comments and just been, talking with people there. It's nice. It's been nice meeting similar people, like-minded people, and just people that are curious. So definitely looking forward to getting the next story and next videos, you guys. I'm going to think about what that's going to be next. And yeah, until then, see you next time.